Okay, once again here with Mario Magriplis, restaurateur, owner, and operator of Charlie's Ocean Grill in Long Branch and the Blue Swan Diner in Ocean Township. Good to see you, Mario. And
Good,
how are you
good to see you
doing?
too, Rick. Thanks.
Your family doing good? Everybody healthy?
Thank God, everyone's healthy. We're doing good. How about yours?
Same. That's the most important thing. Everything's good. I guess
Wonderful.
I guess it's been over a year now, Mario, since I conducted the first interview with you at the onset of the pandemic. And it's 12 months later. Let's get right to it. How have both of your businesses fared?
Well, like I like to say, because I get this asked this question, many times a day. How you guys doing? Especially with customers that are returning through our doors. They're like, how you guys been? How you guys doing? I'm like, we're still in the game. So that's the most important thing. And that was our first goal, which we achieved. And I'm seeing, more and more people come out. Things are getting better. So we're definitely a little more confident and positive. And I think we're in a better position than what we were a year ago. It's safe to say that the businesses that were fortunate enough to make it this far now are seeing, the horizon, and we have an idea of how much longer we're going to have to deal with the situation and under what conditions. Unlike last year, which we had no clue, what our future is going to be like and how we're going to deal with it altogether. At least now, we have an let's just say, an estimate of how much longer and how we can deal with it going forward.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but something reminds me of the Elton John song, I'm Still Standing.
Exactly. I sing that song in my head several times a day.
Talk a little about the modifications you had to make to your facilities and your business model over the past year.
So right off the bat, we started working with this company called Filter Shield for professional fumigation. So we get regular service, apart from all the sanitation and the cleaning practices that we've enforced and the added measures. We do that as a safety precaution. So they come and they fumigate all our surfaces and make sure that, we're COVID free. And so there's no contamination from surfaces. And then we installed HEPA filters and UV lighting system in our ducts to purify the air. So Oceanside, which is our partner for refrigeration and air purification, installed those systems at both places. And, it wasn't required from us, but we felt we didn't feel comfortable going forward if customers and staff didn't feel comfortable in our establishment. So when we reopened for indoor dining, we made sure that we, mitigate whatever risks may be out there. And we see it as a practice that would be required anyways. I mean, you have to professionally sanitize your area. I mean, we're in the food industry. So having learned from this pandemic, the standards have been risen on sanitation, cleanliness, food handling and preparation, as well as air purification and filtration. And, we feel very comfortable to serve people in our doors and in our establishment. And we also feel that you can't enjoy an experience unless you feel safe. So that might be like on the top of our priorities as a business. In the past, you would have said, oh, have a good food, good service, good value for money. And I think now the biggest priority in our business model is first have a safe environment, make people feel comfortable and welcome, and then that will allow them to enjoy, our food and our service and have a good overall experience.
Yeah, that's good. That's good information. You speak to indoor dining, and with recently the governor of New Jersey allowed seating at the bars, and on the 19th is lifting to 50% occupancy. His announcement said, in accordance with the CDC guidelines of masking and social distancing. And yesterday, the CDC released information that fully vaccinated individuals don't have to wear masks and don't have to social distance anymore.
Yeah,
How are you gonna work with that in your restaurants?
we still maintain safe distance in our restaurants. We utilize guards where we feel that we have to, but we keep a 6 foot distance between customers. We haven't changed on that policy. I know a lot of places have or become a little more lenient, and we're considering maybe, preparing for that moment as well. But for the time being, we're still keeping a safe distance. We're all wearing our masks. We're taking our temperature checks at the door, and we're requesting that customers accommodate and help us manage that process. Uh, we're not here to police people and tell them wear a mask or don't wear a mask or take the vaccine. Or don't. I mean, that's not our job. We just want people to come through our doors, have good food, have a good time, and go home with a memorable experience. Now, having said that, we request their cooperation in order to make that experience comfortable for everybody involved, not just every individual, but everybody that is in our doors at the same time. So it's going to get tricky for everybody. I feel like there's people that there are some people that came, and say, "Whoa, the masks are gone. Let's burn them." And these things are kind of laid upon us since the beginning of the pandemic. They're laid upon us with no preparation or no guidance, or like all of a sudden we got to figure it out. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure it out. We're going to ask our customers to be understanding and be a little patient with us, so we could do it in the best way possible.
Well, hopefully you don't have to have a guy sitting at the door not only checking IDs, but checking vaccination cards too.
I mean, I really hope we don't get to that point. Yeah, I think it's a little extreme, but as long as we have a good crowd, and like the customers have become really involved in the businesses because they're part of our process now. They're involved in helping us manage this, and figuring it out. And no matter, I gotta say, like most of our customers at both places, they're understanding. They help us deal with it, even if they agree or disagree or are extremely cautious or don't believe in it at all, or whatever it is. The people respect our establishments, and I have to say, we're fortunate to have good customers that are supportive no matter what our decisions or our policies are, and that's what's important. That's what really makes a village. So I think that no matter what we do, we're not going to get much kickback. Our customers are going to work with us, and at the same time, we always consider what is going to elevate our experience and our business at the same time.
Well, look, springtime's here, summertime's just around the corner. I know in Charlie's in Long Branch, you're right on the ocean. You got some nice outdoor seating there. You must be looking forward to that. Over at the Blue Swan Diner last year, you put up a tent outside in the parking lot for outdoor dining. Will you do
No
that
more
again
tents.
this year?
No more tents, Ace. No, we're not. We have indoor dining now. We've built our takeout and delivery business to considerable volume, and the tent was just such a challenge. I mean, it's great to have outdoor seating, but some places just can't do it. And it's not the fact that we couldn't. We did it last year. We had to, but throw indoor dining and takeout at the level that it is right now, it's just unmanageable. Add the let's say the shortage in the labor force to the mix.
Yeah,
it becomes virtually impossible. We're just going to spread ourselves too thin, and we won't be able to focus on what we're good at. We did it last year. I think we did a great job. But our staff was like running in and out of kitchens, up and down stairs, in and out of the rain and puddles. My heart was breaking every time. These people, they did what they had to for the business and to survive, but I would never put them through that again unless we absolutely had to. And I think we don't need to do that this year.
Very understandable. Very understandable. When we spoke last time and last year, you were one of the fortunate mortgagors, I guess, that had an SBA loan, and the SBA picked up monthly payments for you during the pandemic. Uh, what other types of government funding, if any, were you able to apply for and receive during the past year?
So we applied for the second round of the PPP, uh, uh, which we received. We applied for an increase in the EIDL loan, which we're still waiting for a response, and the government, the state grants that were also put through. And most recently, the restaurant revitalization fund, which from what we haven't received, and from what I hear, they've already run out of money.
Yeah, it was announced yesterday. They had 147,000 applications, and they ran out of the 28 billion already. It was evident that was going to happen. There just wasn't enough money for all the restaurants and food service businesses and everything that was
Right.
going to apply.
Right.
So, do you think without the
Hopefully they'll vote to increase it, because many businesses still need it. I mean, like I said, we're still in business, but our expenses have gone up,
Yeah,
and we're still figuring it out. Profitability isn't there. We're just looking to keep it going, and unfortunately, a lot of businesses didn't make it. It's really sad. And if they don't receive the funding, there's businesses that if they don't receive the funding, they might not make it going into next year. So it's definitely needed. We need it as well. Some need it more than others. It's all a matter of how long you can last. So hopefully the federal government will move quick and expand on it.
So the two questions I'm going to ask you next have to do with the past 12 months and your current situation. What has been the biggest challenge that you had to face over the past 12 months? And right now, as we sit here on May 14th, what is your biggest challenge in business?
My biggest challenge going forward was keeping my staff employed and their families safe. We achieved that. My biggest challenge now is finding new staff. finding new staff and making sure that my businesses go forward, with at least some profitability or break-even point. But there's so much volatility right now that it's really hard to establish, at what level of operation you can actually be profitable. Food, there's shortages in every single thing. Like material has gone through the roof. I recently rebuilt our decks at Charlie's. Lumber was at all-time highs. It killed us. Food supply, there's a shortage on food supply. Prices are going through the roof. The volatility from week to week, you could be operating at a loss. You can't change your menu fast enough or do food costing fast enough to keep up with the volatility. And it's really challenging. So operations need to be tight, and we need to make sure that we weather the storm of inflation, whatever that means for all of us, and not just businesses, it means households as well, until we achieve some form of stability.
You mentioned something that a lot of our clients have been worried about, have talked to us about, is the shortage in the labor market. It seems like the trifecta hit the restaurant industry all at once, just when they're coming out of this pandemic and being shut down. First, a lot of the workers that didn't work for the past 12 months went into other industries. They left the industry. They went into construction. They worked from home. Whatever they did, they changed their career path. Second, the government giving unemployment benefits plus bonuses has made people want to stay home, especially during the summer. And the third part of that trifecta is a good deal of the Spanish labor force that works in the kitchen. They're out now in springtime landscaping, making, a significant amount of money per hour, and probably more than they would make it in the kitchen. So it's hard to get labor for the restaurant industry.
Right. So like I said, that's our biggest challenge. It really saddens me to hear that, you know, other operators and owners blame the unemployment. It's a combination of things. The unemployment benefits obviously don't help, but at the same time, I think more importantly, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think a lot of managers and owners are missing the point that a lot of people have rethinked their lifestyle. So habits have changed. This pandemic changed everybody. And I really think it's important to find quality, and a balance between quality of life and a work-life balance, because there's people that have left the professional world as well. They've left high-paying jobs, they've left, benefits, they've left the hospitality industry, and they're rethinking what they want to do. They want to find something that fulfills them and that makes them happy, or that gives them, flexibility in their schedule, or build, 3-4 different types of sources of income. So, I mean, it is a challenge, but the easy thing is to say, oh, it's the unemployment benefits, or people don't want to work anymore, everybody's lazy, or I don't think it's that. I think more important, yes, the world has changed. We got to accept that, and we got to rethink how we're going to operate and manage that and deal with that. And customers got to understand, maybe we're reaching a point where service is a luxury. Maybe the world has changed so much that, to have someone, to come greet you or spend some time with you while they're taking your order, maybe that's a luxury. Or to have, a menu with like 40 different options, maybe that's a luxury. Maybe we need to streamline the process a little bit, focus on doing fewer things and doing them well, and at the same time offer something better to the people that are actually in our industry. And by better, it's not necessarily just salary and benefits. That's where we're missing the point. It's not just about the money anymore. It's about finding a nice workplace, getting along with people, getting along with, your coworkers, getting along with the customers, and having a quality of life and work that fits your lifestyle and your mentality and your mindset. And I think that's going to be our biggest challenge going forward. You could throw money left and right, although I don't see that there's that much of it to give around the way things are going. But sometimes it's not what the employees are actually looking for. They're looking for a place that's going to respect them. They're looking for a place that's going to support them in other endeavors, or, in their personal aspirations. So it's going to be interesting to see how our industry is going to deal with it and develop. But I definitely see a lot of, turnover coming in the future. No doubt about it, when the unemployment benefits run out, we're going to see an influx of applications, but I don't know how long, we're going to be able to keep that staff, or if there's going to be like a lot of turnover at the same time, which is also a big expense for any business.
You make a very good point that this pandemic made people rethink their lives and what's really important to them. But you geared it most specifically to the labor market. What do you think the customer base who stayed home and cooked meals and got the takeout to their house and said, look, we're getting along fine. Do you think that they're going to all be coming back as customers to a sit-down restaurant again, or
Absolutely.
they change their habits too?
Absolutely. Habits have changed. So we're seeing that customers are coming back, but we're also noticing that they're coming back mostly during the weekend. So Fridays and Saturdays, we have, a big rush. Holidays the same. I would put Sundays into the mix, but weekdays, they've gotten better, but they haven't gotten, an increase proportionate to what the weekends have been increasing by. So we know for a fact that people are eating at home, or they're maybe ordering takeout a little bit more, because we've seen an increase in our takeout business at both places. And we've actually invested a considerable amount of money and time in our takeout business in terms of branding, websites. We just launched a native app for both our restaurants, where you can download the app, you could order at either location, get it delivered by us or DoorDash, or for takeout, and then you accumulate points. You can redeem those points through online orders or in-house at either location. So we thought that maintaining and managing the relationship with our customers within our family of restaurants was important. And at the same time, we also feel that we need to start offering value in different ways to incentivize customers to frequent our restaurants, or to order from our restaurants maybe an extra time a week. So we want to incentivize people to do that. But the landscape might change, and I'm seeing it at other places. We've managed to stay open for 7 days a week at both places, but our hours of operation have been cut down. I don't know if we're ever going to go back to the full hours of operations that we had in the past. It doesn't look like it. The Blue Swan, for example, was open 24 hours Friday and Saturday. I don't think that we're going to be able to do that again. People aren't going out. They're not staying out late anymore. We don't have the late night crowd, but it's also hard to staff for an extra shift. And at Charlie's, we started when the pandemic started. We were closing our kitchen a little bit earlier, and now we're getting to a point where we're probably going to extend for the summertime. We're going to extend and keep the kitchen and service open for like maybe an hour or so. But it is a challenge because staff is overworked, and we don't want to add more to their plates and have the unsatisfied staff.
Right.
It's important for us,
Or
that they have
right.
They have what they want too.
Customer either, right?
I want to have a satisfied customer as well. That's why it's hard to balance everybody's needs. But I'm seeing that is more important from an owner's perspective right now, is actually managing the customer's needs at the same level that I do my staff's needs, and managing expectations from both as well, and keeping a good balance. So, it's going to get tricky going forward, for sure.
This is my final question for you, Mario. I really thank you for getting on today. But there's an old saying that out of every bad situation, at the end, something always positive or good comes out. For you, whether it's business or personal, what good or positive thing has come to you through this pandemic?
This pandemic, it made me stronger, more resilient, more patient. I dealt with a lot. From a personal perspective, I think it helped my character, grow stronger, and it helped me build more empathy. For my businesses, I think that it really helped us establish a good foundation in terms of my teams at both places. Our staff stepped up to the plate, and I couldn't be more grateful. They helped in whatever way we needed their help, or whatever way the business needed them to help. So they learned how to fill in for different positions. They learned how to operate as a team much better. And I think now that we have found a good foundation to help the businesses grow, and it's happening. Business is going to start picking up, and I think we're in a good position right now because our staff has been through a lot, and they really shine through the most difficult of times. So I'm confident for the future, even though, you know, our industry hasn't seen anything like this before, and it's a new challenge. But going forward, our team did so great that I think no matter what comes our way, we'll be able to deal with it as long as we maintain this core.
Well, very good. I appreciate the time again, Mario. You know, all we can do is take one day at a time, keep the faith, and
That's it. Yeah.
just keep standing. That's all. All right. Thank you. I
Really nice
appreciate it.
talking to you. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.